Welcome to another daily update. And again, the main project going on in the garage is the Grinch build. We've also got the TRX-4 we've been working on. So there's going to be an update with that later on in the episode. Stay tuned, check that out. And before we actually get started, first, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's been watching these daily updates and taking part. I've got great comments. When I started this series, I wasn't sure how well it would be received, how well you guys would receive it. And I've just been shocked and just extremely happy about the amount of engagement with these episodes, with the amount of great comments I get down below, the advice, the tips, the tricks, the comments of, man, this is looking great. I've really enjoyed it. So I just wanted to, before we got started, I just want to say a big thank you to you guys for watching and taking part in these episodes. But anyways, let's get to the update on the Gremlin build. If you're new, I'll give a quick update. This is an old vintage toy grade Gremlin body that we've done a bunch of work to. We cut the hoods and moved fenders around. We've cut the doors. Anyways, this is going to be mounted on an SCX-102 chassis. And what we're actually working on now is framing in the door, basically building the door seal, and then building out the door jambs. So the first thing I actually did, let me zoom in a little bit, give you a closer look. See if I can aim down. First thing I did here today is built out the door seal. So this is going to obviously serve multiple purposes. One being it's going to fill in between the door and the body or the interior, right? But then it also, I'm using it to stiffen up this rocker panel. So my main concern, again, if you're new to the channel, we took this wheel well and we moved it back. So this wheel well cutout used to go all the way up to the door jamb right here. You just come way forward. So all in here is patch and body filler. Same with the rocker panel. We had to extend the rocker panel back. So there's patch and body filler. And my concern is, and we've already seen it once, if you flex this body enough, it'll crack that body filler. And we've already seen that once while we were cutting out the door. So my main concern with building out this rocker panel was giving stiffness. And if I flip us over here, and hopefully you can see. So what I did is I built that rocker panel into a triangle. So I triangulated it with some pretty heavy styrene, if you can see there. Yeah, so what that's doing for us is this whole section here now is extremely stiff. It's as if that door was still there and we hadn't cut it out. It's extreme. I can't bend it, right? It's extremely stiff now. So now I have a little bit of peace of mind that down the future, if this body was to take a tumble or roll down a hill or whatever, I feel like it's stiff enough down here that it's not going to crack the filler, which then of course is going to crack the paint that we're going to be putting on this. And that's what I just really didn't want to do. So that was the first project I did, was getting this rocker panel in. Let me zoom in again. The other thing I wanted to point out is, if you can see, I left a lip right here. So that's where the door is going to shut against that lip. And so the other thing I'm working on is the back of the door jamb, which I'm doing the same thing with. I'm going to leave a lip right here. Now, to make this happen, it was a little more complicated. What I had to do was go in, flip us over again, and you can see, whoops, come back here. I glued in a piece right here, just a little patch panel that I could mount, push this or glue this back of the jamb up against, right? So that gave me a mounting point. Also, here's all that patchwork that's behind all that body filler that I was talking about. But so I had to put in another patch piece here with that same arc of the door itself, so that I could glue in the back jamb. Let me flip it back over. So now, which is giving us that lip we need here, so I can glue it back a little bit and have that lip we need. So now, let me see if I can do this with one hand. When I put the door in, see if I can get this. There we go. It's going to give us a stop. Can I do it? There we go. So now we have the stop we need. See how I can't push the door past the rear fender. Let me get it lined up. There we go. So now we have a stop, and then it's also going to play another role. I still have to shave it down. You can see that's actually what I'm doing now, is I'm slowly shaving this lip in here down to make it line up exactly. And what I'll end up doing is I'll actually shave it just not even a mil probably, but just even a little further because it's eventually going to have paint on it. So that's going to have thickness. But the idea is to get it to the door to line up with the body panel. But anyways, the other purpose of this back door jamb, again, one for realism and to give separation between the body and the interior, but also this is where the door closure is going to happen, which what we're probably going to end up doing is using magnets. So I'll probably mount a magnet back here. And then when I build out the door's body, so you got to remember there's going to be thickness to this door. I'll mount a magnet exactly where it needs to be on the inside of the door body. And then so when you close it, it'll pop itself closed like that and hold itself closed until you actually pull it open. So that's why we're multiple reasons to build the door jambs. One, not only just to look real and to give it that scale look, but also it's going to serve purposes for door closure and stiffening up the whole side of the body. But anyways, that's what we've been working on with the Gremlin build. Now, give me a second, and I'll bring in the TRX-4, and we'll take a quick look at it. And here's the TRX-4 that we're building in the behind the scenes series. And last week, we all decided to go ahead and use the hard body, this Raptor hard body, on this truck, which we started painting on Friday. I actually gave it some black paint. And then today I've gone ahead and started wet sanding. You can see that it's definitely dulled out now from the wet sanding. And there's even a cut through some of the paint and on some of the body lines, but that's okay because it's going to get more paint and then more black paint and then matte coated. And speaking of the paint, we had the question I asked last Friday is how should we do the paint? Gave a few different ideas and it really had mixed reviews or mixed ideas. A lot of people wanted to use the camo. Some people wanted to leave it flat black, and then some people wanted to do a creepy crawlers theme on it. So what I think I've decided to do, since it was so split, there wasn't any real majority as to which direction to go. What I think I'll do is go all three directions. So the idea I think is going to be to use the flat black as a base, and then we'll add elements of camo so we can see how to paint the camouflage. But then those elements of camo will be in some form of a Creepy Crawler's Garage design. There might be some other color on here. I might incorporate some orange. I don't know. We'll see how it all looks out. Also, I think there's going to be multiple different finishes. So we're going to have some matte finish. We're going to have some gloss finish. What I'm thinking of probably doing is having flat black, just perfectly flat black, doing the camo elements in satin. And then I think I'm going to put in some orange, just small bits of orange, just to give reference to the Creepy Crawler's Garage. And those small elements of orange are going to be gloss. So I think between the three different elements and the three different finishes, I think it's going to turn out pretty cool looking. Plus, we're going to be adding a lot to this as far as, because this is going to be an apocalyptic truck. So what I think, the idea I think, or the story behind it, I think I'm going to have is it's going to be for the shop truck. It's going to be a shop truck that has been decked out for the apocalypse. So let's just say that Creepy Crawler's Garage now exists in the apocalypse. This is the shop truck that Creepy Crawler's Garage would have. I think that's going to be the premise. And what's also want to show you guys, what's also exciting is with this hard body, it looks like I'll still be able to use, if you can see them, the bumpers that I had already printed out. I'll be able to use the front and back bumpers. So those aren't going to go to waste, which is kind of exciting, kind of nice. Now in the back, I'll probably build off of this bumper. So I originally thought about building a metal cage in the back, just back halving it out of metal. But I actually had a comment saying, you ought to 3D print a cage for it. So that's probably what I'll do, and I'll just incorporate this bumper into a 3D printed cage. And I think that'll be a good example of, you don't have to be able to work in metal. You don't have to be able to braze metal. In today's day and age, you can just 3D print what you need. Now, it won't be as strong, of course. It's going to be more superficial or more cosmetic, I guess, not structural. But that's okay for this truck, because most everything on this truck is going to be, cosmetic. I mean, it's an apocalyptic truck. It's not meant to go win awards out on a trail somewhere. But anyways, that's kind of the update on this guy. If you have any ideas, I already had some good ideas as far as adding 55-gallon barrels in the back, some different things like that. If you have any other ideas of that sort, how we could add to this, I'm really thinking about pop-up machine guns up front. So cutting a little piece out here that's able to pop up, and then there's a machine gun that comes out. That's kind of a thought I'm having. I don't know. If you have any ideas like that, leave them down in the comment section for me. If you have any ideas as far as the paint scheme still, because it's still not painted, so any good ideas, let me know down in the comment section. Thanks for all the great responses last week, and thanks for joining me again today. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button. It lets me know to keep making these episodes for you, and it also just helps out these videos in the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell if you want to keep up with these builds. And and before we go, I want to remind you, there is going to be an RC Shop episode this week. I'm frantically filming for it, and then I will extra frantically be editing it. And then hopefully there might even be a behind the scenes episode this week also. So anyways, thanks for joining me today, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.